Good morning. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Sunday where we get to gather together as community. This time with many of us in our orange shirts and honoring Orange Shirt Day that will happen in this country tomorrow, but we'll honor it together as community today. Welcome, everyone. Glad we could be together, one and all. As we join together, we recognize that whether we join here or online, whether we are fully awake or just getting there, we are one community that seeks to be united in our quest to make a difference in the world, be loving and compassionate people, and be open, welcoming, and inclusive in our journey together. So I invite you all, and as we affirm that commitment, as we do every week, we recognize that we are the community that welcomes all sizes, all ages, all colors, all cultures, all abilities, all genders, all sexualities, all learning styles and neurotypes, all religions or none, all people welcome. We light this candle knowing that there must be something at the center of our intention and of our living. What we choose to place at the center is up to us. And so when we light this candle, we recognize that light symbolizes all those values and all the goodness, all the sacredness that we wish to place at the center of our living, at the center of how we decide, at the center of how we act, at the center of how we speak. And so may this light remind us today and every time we gather of all that shines in the center of our living, and may it be good and bright. You're thinking, it's the time for all ages already. And I bet you only half of our all ages clan is even here yet. But if you'd like to come to the carpet this morning, come. And we do mean all ages. So if you'd like to join us, tall or small, come to the carpet or come to the chairs around the carpet, and you're welcome. Good morning. Hi. Today, for our time for all ages, I would like us to have a little moment to think about and to learn about Orange Shirt Day. And maybe you know some things about it. I think we all know a little something about it, but we can always learn a little bit more. And so I thought that this morning, in our time on the carpet, we could start with hearing from the person that started Orange Shirt Day because of a very important story in her life. And so we're going to hear from her. And then, as we still sit on the carpet, we're going to participate with Marg as she honors the land and acknowledges our land today on this Orange Shirt weekend. So, first, there's two videos going to show on the screen, and one is where we're going to meet the person I was talking about, and she'll introduce herself, and then a little clip from CBC Kids, which is just a wonderful way to kind of help us all interact with the story in a different way. Here is the first.
Hello everyone, my name is Phyllis Webstad. I am Shawetmach from the Strachamach Kenno Creek, Chatlam, Dog Creek First Nation, which is about 1.5 hours southwest from Williams Lake, BC. I grew up with my granny on the Dog Creek Reserve until I was 10, then moved with my auntie after she finished university. When I had just turned 6, I was sent to the St. Joseph Indian Residential School near Williams Lake, a place we called the Mission. My granny bought me a shiny new orange shirt to go to school in. When I got there, I was stripped, my clothing taken away, including my new orange shirt, and I never saw it again. I was no longer excited to be going to school. I wanted to go home to Granny. I had to stay there for 300 sleeps. No matter how much all of us little kids cried, it didn't matter. No one listened to us. Our feelings didn't matter. We didn't matter. I am the 3rd generation that attended residential school. Both my grandmother and mother attended the Mission for 10 years each. Today is a day to honor and remember residential school survivors and their families. Every child matters, even if you're an adult. We must also remember those children that never made it and are no longer with us. Today is a day for survivors to tell their stories and for us to listen with open hearts. I am humbled and honored that you are all taking part in Orange Shirt Day. When I was in school, I didn't know my own history, so I am overjoyed that you are taking part and learning the true history of Canada's First Peoples. Gukshjem, thank you.
It's CBC Kids Book Club.
Hi, Bestie. I'm here with my awesome author pal, Phyllis Webstad.
Hi there.
Phyllis is the founder of Orange Shirt Day.
That's right. We wear orange to honor the Indigenous children who were sent to residential school.
And today, Phyllis brought her book, With Our Orange Hearts, that explains even more. It was written by Phyllis and illustrated by Emily Kiwagashik.
This is my story. I, Phyllis, share my story true about my orange shirt that once was new.
Is that you wearing the orange shirt in the picture, Phyllis?
Yes. When I was a little girl, I was taken to a residential school. It's not like the school you go to today. It was a place where Indigenous kids, like me, were taken to stop us from learning about our Indigenous culture. My orange shirt was taken away at a lonely place where I had to stay. This made me cry and feel very sad, missing my family and the orange shirt I had.
Oh, that's so sad. I can't believe people would be so mean to kids.
Me too, Cotton Ball. But sharing my orange shirt story and how it made me feel helped me know that I could heal. I have hope for true reconciliation, help spread orange from nation to nation.
It's important to remember what happened so it'll never happen again.
That's right. Every child matters.
Every child matters. Oh, thank you for sharing your story with us, Phyllis.
Gukshjem for listening.
Orange shirt hug?
Yes.
So we've heard that story, and we've heard about why we're wearing orange shirts, so that we can remember and honor the children that had to go to residential schools. And some of those children are able to tell their stories, and some of those children are not, because maybe they died while they were at school, or they are no longer here with us. And so when we hear their stories, we can remember that, like she just said, all children matter. And on lots of our shirts, we have every child matters. And it's so important to remember. I love the way that video ended, where she said that we remember and tell the story so that it will never happen again, so that we won't be cruel to each other. And we will remember that whether we're adults or children, we matter. and we treat each other with respect and with dignity and with love. So, whether it's today that we will find something orange to wear or tomorrow on the holiday, we will remember so that we will do better and treat each other with kindness. Thanks for sharing in this story. Now, as Marg shares our honoring of the land, we'll participate by remembering.
Good morning. My name is Margaret Switing. We are here settling on Treaty 6 territory, a land that is home to the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people, the Cree, Blackfoot, Nakota, Sioux, Iroquois, Papas-Chase, Denetah, Saulteaux, and others. As a settler here, I commit to gratitude, curiosity, and wonder about this history. My dad said, "You can't own land." I'm not sure what brought about this belief because I didn't grow up with Indigenous awareness. However, I have always felt the truth of this. Just recently, Hank and I viewed a documentary entitled Singing Back the Buffalo, written and directed by Tasha Hubbard. Through stunning photography, thoughtful and wise conversation, and a journey across the prairie grasslands of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Montana, we learned of projects envisioned 10 years ago, in which the plains buffalo have been shared and spread from one blood tribe to another to return the buffalo to their rightful homes. The gene pool grows, the land becomes primed for healthy natural seed transport and travel. The wallows help collect rain, and buffalo culture, so sacred to the native people, is honored and welcomed home. Buffalo from Elk Island National Park are moved to other plains homes, including Banff National Park. Herds of buffalo are gifted to new Indigenous buffalo ranchers. It is called buffalo rematriation. Ceremony holds these events, animals, lands, and people. Many treaties, conversations, and agreements are made strong through reciprocal relationships among Indigenous people, the government, settlers, and communities. Buffalo are thriving and herds are growing. Many people are working hard to honor the buffalo humans, as they are called, living with the people humans, as we are called. Buffalo have no use for political boundaries. The land is the land, and they are claiming their rightful place to roam freely. Let's honor the land for the buffalo.
Thank you, Mark. It's time for Kid Spirit, and I have one more invitation for you. In the spirit of hearing about buffalo, maybe if you walk near to this church and you go down the road closer to 111th Street, you will cross a crosswalk that's freshly painted with all kinds of new buffalo of every color. So maybe you'll drive past it or walk past it or even cross on the buffalo. You can see it. It's just there fresh this week. So thank you for coming to the carpet. Our Kids Spirit program is going strong. Daisy and Ariane will lead you in some activities today.
Why can't this be the day hope of who it will be. Why can't this be the day when we do changes stay, loving our strength, claiming our joy, knowing we're free. Past is past, no need for guilt or shame. It's lessons learned, it's the clouds to claim. Why can't this be the day when true protection may bring us beyond the limits we see? Why can't this be the day when our first start goes right? Living our joy, knowing we're free. Let this be the day when every choice will say something of what we did, of our rebirth. Why can't this be the day when we will set our way, choosing our love, working for good, knowing our worth? We need the courage for clarity, to love ourselves, to live with integrity. Why can't this be the day when we do more than pray, when our lives will speak, not just rehearse? Why can't this be the day actions will pave the way, choosing for love, working for good, knowing our worth? Choosing for love, working for good, knowing our
Some time for a few quick announcements of those things that are coming up in the life of our community. I want to highlight two of them. One is something happening this week, Wednesday evening at 6:30, a united response to climate change. We're going to hear from community organizer David Barrow from the Sydney Alliance in Sydney, Australia, who's coming to speak to us about work he's done with churches and other organizations in organizing around and for issues of climate change. And we'll speak about that and how strategies we might pursue. So if you'd like to join me Wednesday evening, we'll gather in the small hall and hear from David and connect with each other over a very important issue. I also want to invite anyone who's looking for a bit of community connection, a bit of good and important conversation about a variety of topics to join our resource group every Thursday at 6. You can see this week's topic here is about tears. Bonnie, here you go. And any of us that either shed them or keep them locked tight inside, this might be a good conversation for us to have together. So I invite you this Thursday or any Thursday at 6 o'clock. I know that there's others with a few things to share. Curtis, thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Curtis, and I'd like to talk to you about it was just Together Not Alone. For the past several months now, actually, since I think it was June when we got started, I've been part of a really amazing group of people, a team of people that's been working away to plan a special event that's going to be coming actually to fruition this next weekend, this coming Friday and Saturday and Sunday. We're calling it Together Not Alone, which is a title or a name that we shamelessly stole from one one of Chris's songs. That's kind of our theme song for the weekend. And the name really captures something of our hope for the weekend, which is to invite the whole SSUC community, including many of our friends from the Saskatoon SSUC community who are going to be coming to join us, to gather and share in a very special time together. And the planning team has kind of been, I think very early on, we started imagining this event and this gathering as a kind of a smorgasbord, a kind of a buffet retreat. And so there's a whole wonderful variety of things that are going to be happening on Friday night, through the day on Saturday, and then wrapping up with our usual gathering here on Sunday morning. And our hope is that through this variety of experiences, there'll be a kind of a landing place, or maybe several landing places, where everyone will find a place to feel sort of spiritually at home. And like a smorgasbord, it won't be kind of one size fits all. There'll be a whole range of possibilities to choose from. And you can read about those in the morning, the SSUC email, the messenger. But in keeping with good SSUC and United Church tradition, there's going to be lots of good food. Is going to be part of the event. There'll be chances to engage in inviting and deepening conversations. There's going to be music, there's going to be singing, there's going to be dancing, there's going to be some drumming. There'll be opportunities to reconnect with the kind of natural world, and even a chance to try your hand at bread making on Saturday afternoon, or something called Bread for the Journey. And parts of the time are kind of designed for adults to take part in together, and other parts of the day are planned for all generations and all ages of people. So if you haven't signed up already, I think there's sign-up sheets or forms out on the table in the lobby, and you can also go on the website and register there, and you can make choices about the different parts of the weekend there as well. So next weekend, I hope that you'll be here for part or all of the weekend to be together and not alone. And just as a follow-up to that, I have one more announcement that I'm going to add in here. On the Saturday afternoon, when we're making bread together, two of the ingredients that are going to go into that bread are Zatoun olive oil and the Za'atar seasoning mix, which we just happen to have for sale out in the lobby. We just got a new shipment of those products from Zatoun that come from the West Bank in Palestine. And it's a part of the world, as you know, if you pay any attention to the news, that's in very dire straits. So one of the very small ways that we can make a difference is by purchasing these products, and all the proceeds from that sale go back to farmers in the West Bank in Palestine, and help to support them and keep them alive. So you can talk to me or Sheila at the table by the door in the lobby afterwards if you'd like to have a look at those products. They're there for sale. So thanks a lot.
Morning, May Kellerman here. I would like all of you who have cell phones here or have diaries here to take them out and save the date, November the 22nd. By popular demand, Aaron Bailey has very graciously agreed to run another jukebox evening. We hope to see all of you here with your family, with your friends, and with your wallets.
Good morning. My name is Dale Irving, and today it is my privilege, on behalf of the Ministry and Personnel Committee, to introduce to you Joseph Carrion Macedo, who probably doesn't need any introduction. Joseph has been here at Southminster Steinhauer for since about 2016, about the same time that I arrived. But it's only very recently that we connected with a visit over coffee after the service. Joseph comes to us with a fair amount of experience. in the area of digital marketing and digital media, his use of it. He's familiar with online marketing and has planned and executed a number of different campaigns to increase participation in annual conferences and so on. And we look forward to his leadership among us in these areas and trust that we will have a good and fruitful relationship for a long time to come. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm here about a couple of things. Number one, the Guess Who's Coming to Dessert. We have the opportunity, or still have room for more hosts to sign up. There's a sign-up sheet out there. You would pick well, if you offer to supply your home and a dessert for people, it's a good way to get to go know each other and so on. This will be the last week we ask for hosts. Next week, we're going to start asking for guests to fill in all those empty spaces. So we look forward to that. Pardon? I don't know. Sometime in November, October, November, sometime. Yeah. It won't be this month anyhow. October 28th, yeah. My wife has been kind of the champion of the memorial garden out there. It's had a dramatic transformation over the last few days. I'd like to thank all the people that came out to help clean that up and prune and dig and that sort of thing. It included Mark Hetherington, Tanis Aker, Neil Robertson, Blake McDonald, Leslie Revel, and Richard Wan came to work on that. And go take a look at it. And finally, if you walk around the building today, you're going to notice a little band of kind of a grayish, brownish soil all around it. That's Peter Blackall. On his own, all by himself, he's taken a full gravel truck full of dirt topsoil and put it all around the building to basically to kind of help to shy the water that hits the outside of the building away onto the grass. So thank you very much, Peter. You did a great job. It looks great.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joya Salustio, a member of the Congregational Care Committee. I'm here to inform you that we're having our first caregiver support group Wednesday, October 23rd, here in the small hall from 1 to 3. We're quite excited. We're getting support from Caregivers Alberta. That having been said, we are soliciting the care, I'm so sorry, we're soliciting the support of some of you in the congregation on a longer term basis. So anyone who has experience as a social worker, healthcare worker, ministerial work of any kind, who would be interested in joining the caregiver support group as a facilitator or co-facilitator, please contact the office and we'll work together. So thank you very much. And if you know of anyone who is a caregiver who would like to join the group, please encourage them to do so. Thank you. And Chris, I kept it short and sweet.
Good morning. David Mayer, and I'm here this morning for Operation Friendship. I used to be up here once a month asking for people to help me prepare casseroles for the Operation Friendship dining room, but that unfortunately that program came to an end, but we still support Operation Friendship. And in the fall, they have a sock drive, just like in the spring, the Bissell Center does the underwear drive. So Tuesday is October the 1st. It'll be our first day of our campaign for as many socks as we can bring in. Their objective is 10,000 pairs. It won't be 10,000 from here, but last year we had several hundred, and it was very successful. So there is a bin, and this will be emptied each Sunday, so it'll be empty for you to bring more socks. So this will be sitting right in front of the table, right in the center of the hall. it's just our way of saying thank you for all the things that they've done, and thank you.
My name is Jacob Kellerman, and I'm the chair of the Finance Committee. So by introducing myself like that, you expect me to talk about finances. So in the messenger, there's a short summary of where we are with our finances at the moment. But I will tell you quickly, there's bad news and good news. Bad news is that we approved a budget this year with a shortfall of $36,000 plus. That's a lot of money, and that's bad. The good news is we're working 100% to be in line with that forecast. And why is that good news? It means that the people who put the budget together knew exactly what they were talking about. So what is unacceptable is that we're working with a deficit. Good news again, we have reserves. And where does that reserve come from? It came from people long ago, from in the 60s, who had the vision to start this thing of ours. And the dreams that they had at that point was very simple. They knew that they were united in community, and they were seekers. Spiritual seekers, that is. The dreams that they had was to create a church outside the walls of the church. In other words, we work for the community. We don't feed ourselves. The other thing that they said is we will spend at least 80% of our income on outreach programs. Think about it, 80%. Now things have changed in the meantime. We've got the building, and we've got all sorts of other things which are fixed costs. And we don't have a choice. We have to pay those things to keep the lights going and to create the space that we're in. So our expenses can really be divided in only two things. It's the fixed costs, and on the other hand is our outreach programming. So what we're talking about is to try and keep that dream alive that our predecessors had, who created this reserve for us. And that happened not by itself. There were things like the Southern Home Society, there was the creation of, or the involvement with Operation Friendship, and all those beautiful things that made us live outside who we are. Now, I wasn't part of it, so I cannot talk in detail about it. But if you talk to some of the people in a congregation who was here for at least 30, 40 years, and it's easy to recognize them. Some of them are gray, but others are not. But the one thing that is common between all of them is that they've got a big smile on their dials. And that's because they still live this dream. This is what we are. So I'm not asking you to try and balance the budget. I'm saying to you that we must get back to what our dream is. Dream that was started in the late 60s and is still alive today. We have to create more if we really want to share. You cannot share what you don't have. So we got to work at getting back to our dream and becoming a church outside the walls of the church. So if that's finances, then I've sung my story. If you have any questions, please talk to me. And I will end, Pat Seal, I will sort of repeat a line which Pat had many years ago, and it's apparently coming from a Christmas story, from a Christmas song, which says, "Hey, hey, is anybody listening? Hey, hey, does anybody care? I know that we care. That's why, because we're here. That's the reason why we're here. So thank you for caring, and thank you for living outside the walls of this church."
Thank you, Jakob, and thank you, everyone. What a lively morning we're having so far. I'm here, Margaret Hetherington, on behalf of our SSUC outreach efforts together. And this is a very special day. It's a day of gratitude. It's a day when we acknowledge a change in leadership. It's a day when we pass the torch. The torch is being passed from our longtime volunteer coordinator, Peggy Dodson, to our new coordinator, Steve Bailey. And Peggy is going to say a few words. We're going to hear from her a bit about the history and some insights. And then Steve will share a bit about an update and some invitations. And then we'll have a little bit of gratitude to conclude. So, Peggy and Steve, please come forward. Just imagine the baton race is on and the baton is being passed. And we're so thankful for both of you.
Good morning. I have to start talking about Food Bank by saying once upon a time, because neither my memory or file search could locate the exact start date of our food bank depot. Sometime shortly after I got here, about 25 years ago, as a member of the Outreach Committee and pursuing our long-term commitment to social justice, I went to an interagency meeting to see what was going on in the community and what the needs might be. And lo and behold, the food bank was there saying, we need a depot in South Edmonton. The community was expanding and people were having to go very long distances to receive the food. As Jakob mentioned, it stands in the long tradition of social justice for this community, from the Church Without Walls. And even before I got here, when I was working as a social worker, I think Carol Allen and Barb Hurl came to interview me as a City of Edmonton social services representative. What are the needs in the community? So Food Bank is another one of those. A couple things to mention in our time. The oldest list I could find, and all the other names I could find, add up to 85 people who have worked as volunteers at our food bank depot over the years. It's pretty impressive. We also have never, ever closed. Through COVID, with hand sanitizer, masks, and social distancing, people continued to be able, who needed food, continued to be able to receive their hampers. So that's fantastic. I'm so pleased Steve volunteered. I didn't even have to go searching to become the coordinator. He has a long time commitment to social justice. He, I think, is a better administrator than I ever was, and a genuinely nice, warm guy that you will enjoy meeting and connecting with. So, Steve, yay.
Thanks, Peggy. You know, and it's big shoes to fill, as many of you have known Peggy for a lot longer than I have. You know, almost 20 years of coordinating this program is quite impressive, and has, in addition to the number of volunteers that have participated in this, just think about the number of people that have actually benefited from receiving food, who have been in need over decades. So this program makes quite an impact. We are currently serving, we've recently increased a little bit, we're serving 20 families a week. We distribute food hampers from Edmonton's Food Bank every Thursday evening. So we're serving 20 families, and we're looking at you know, continually increasing as our capacity can allow, and thinking about other ways that we can also help people meet these food and security needs. Currently, we have 17 plus volunteers, very strong core volunteers, who are volunteering their time a couple of evenings every 4 month, so about 6 or 7 times over the course of the year, they're coming in and giving their time to help coordinate and distribute food to people that come in. Of those 20 families, a very diverse group. We have people who are newcomers, refugees, students, and just a variety of people of all ages who are having trouble meeting their food needs. So I think, we are making quite an impact and continuing to make that impact. So I have 2 invitations for you. One is because I'm still, in my mind, relatively new to the community. Just about, 3 years now, I think we've been coming and participating. But if you don't know me and you're a current volunteer, come say hi and remind me of your name, because I'm terrible with names, but help. And I've communicated with everybody by email, back and forth to coordinate and things like that. My other invitation is if you are interested in volunteering, we do have, like I said, that core of 17 people, and we're meeting our need. It would be nice to increase by about 2 or 3 people to bring us to about 20 volunteers, because sometimes people travel, sometimes people aren't able to give their full time during a particular 4-month period, whatever. But if you're interested, see me or drop a note to Ainsley at the office, and I'll be happy to talk with you a bit about the volunteer experience, the time commitment over the course of the year, and what it takes. So thank you, and thank you again to Peggy for all the work that she's done.
I'm going to ask for your applause again, and well, it'll be just spontaneous here in another minute too, so we're not done with applauding. Steve, we want to say that we promise to support you in your volunteer work now. That's a promise we're all making today. And of course, Peggy, we are forever grateful for your leadership with our depot of the food bank, and the number of people in Edmonton who are forever grateful for you as well. And we acknowledge this 20 years plus, and I assume that Peggy is going to be one of your best volunteers, or maybe she's going to strike out on a new way of being in the congregation. That's always exciting. So we have a little bit of, a little few flowers just to say thank you and know how much we love you.
It turns out that this is a perfect day for us to have been sharing all of these amazing things that we do together as a community, all of the ways that, and all of the loonies and pennies and nickels and dimes that it takes to do that work. It is amazing that as we're talking about ways that we can expansively meet the needs of a hurting world, that we should also be talking about all the ways that we are doing it, even as we speak. The world is hurting. I certainly don't need to list verbally all the ways that we can read in the news that we know that the world hurts. There is no denying that there are places always in need of attention, in need of care, in need of justice, in need of peace. This is our reality. But equally dismal events have happened in our human history. And there have been people, ideas, and movements that have led us out of those disasters. There have been those with progressive challenges to the world's peace and justice, people that we speak their names and know that they have made marked differences in the world, and countless ones that we don't know their names. Our number one job, as we consider how we meet the needs of all of this hurt, our number one job is to maintain hope. To not give in to fatalistic thoughts that it will never improve, that this is the worst it's ever been, that it's always been this way and there's nothing we can do about it. All of these thoughts, we must first and foremost help each other to move through and to maintain hope. Maya Angelou has this amazing piece of her writing Human Family, but it ends with, "We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike." She says it 3 times. That's how important she felt it was. Like we explored last week, the first and important step is to center ourselves on the language of love and connection, to see ourselves as more similar than different, and to build on what unites us. And so, of course, we're going to ask, okay, then what? As if that isn't a lifelong task in itself. What else can we do alongside that? What might be the next step in an expansive response to the world? And I want to share with you a teaching in our Christian tradition that comes from a community that was trying to discern wisdom, whether it was worth living or not, whether it was worth living that wisdom out or not, how to discern if this is something good when we hear it or not. And here is the conclusion to that. It comes from 1 John chapter 3. Let's not just talk about love, but live in the pattern of love with actions and true caring. In other words, talk is cheap. If getting busy is the next step, we have a good start to it, don't we? We have a good start. We have a legacy to learn from. Not only the history of the greats who showed us love in action, but even those in the past and present of this community who show us what it means. We've had case studies of it this morning. I'll list just a few. Our commitments to housing Indigenous women in need, caring for inner-city seniors, supporting Palestinian farmers, giving home and welcoming new starts to displaced persons from around the world in need of safe home, clothing people, comforting people. These are all ways we've put our actions where our words have been. And it would be easy for us to say that the work that we do as a community is the end in itself. It would be easy for us to look at all this and pat ourselves on the back and smile and say, oh, aren't we amazing? however. I tend to repeat myself, and I apologize. I do say something about spiritual community rather often. About coming here, being part of a group of seekers to live deeply with compassion, with meaning, with making a difference. And I remind us, probably over and over again, that what we're doing here is rehearsal space. This is a dress rehearsal. Because it's easy to do here with people that also want to do good things and who share our commitments to the things that we feel are important. Easy-ish. We practice what it means in real and practical terms in this safe space. Why? Why do we do all this good stuff? Well, we want to do good stuff, but so that we know better how to do it in more difficult places. We're not always surrounded by safe, like-minded people that all pitch in, roll up their sleeves, and work hand in hand together. There are our workplaces and our places of community and play and all kinds of situations where we have to work with those or advocate in places to do that good work. Here in this room, as I said, we're rehearsing. We notice someone, perhaps, when we come here on a Sunday that we've never spoken to before. Well, what do? Perhaps we will live our commitment to love and peace and justice and allow them to feel welcome just as they are. That even though they're strangers, that we care about you, them, and what they're experiencing in this life. Maybe you're a part of a welcome team, or you work in the kitchen and you serve coffee, or you do any number of things around here, and we ask ourselves, how we act in ways that embody our radical inclusion and acceptance. How do we make others sense that, know that, feel that? When we work together in a group, here, on a committee, in planning events or doing anything, and we encounter difference or conflict or challenge, how do we embody our commitment to see beyond the issue to the human across the table? See, now we're not talking easy, are we? We're talking really challenging things, real life things, but where we practice that with people that can practice and rehearse this together. It makes all the difference. It's just time for a cartoon. Thank you. We can call spirituality any number of things, can't we? We can call it Christianity, Judaism, Islam, atheism, humanism, or just plain wanting to be a good person. We can call it anything under the sun. All spirituality, though, is the act of putting our human love into practice. To be more kind and less of a jerk. This is the work of spirituality. Imagine if we could love our neighbor by being more well ourselves. Imagine if we could be more well ourselves by loving our neighbor. When we talk about the work of social justice, if we're only talking about wanting to feel good about ourselves and doing good, we've only talked about one half of the equation. We have to work on ourselves. We have to be well in order to do good. And then we'll know that the flip side is also true, that when we do good, we will contribute to being well. These two things, words and actions, or to put it another way, inner transformation and social transformation, they go together. Because none of us wants to spin ourselves into the ground and have nothing left to give. So, when each reinforces the other, we are better for it. Without you, this can't happen. Without each other, this can't happen. Without people engaged in thinking about what our next project is, what our next passionate endeavor is, how we continue the amazing, wonderful things that we're already doing, and without deep reflection on who we are, how our world is impacting us, and how we together stay well, then we can't really be who we are together. We need all of that. We need each of us. So when we live from the center of who we are and speak the language of love and then practice it some more and practice it some more so that we are doing good and being well for and with each other, the dream happens. Justice comes like an ever-flowing stream. And it takes each of us, our dreams, our hands, our minds, and our hearts. And what a privilege to do it with each of you.
This table is a place where we remember and lament the bitter taste of hatred, the withered grapes of prejudice and cruelty, the sour grapes of sexism, racism, ageism, the stale and poison of war and violence, of occupation and denial of human rights, but also a place where we share the sweetness of hope, where people step up to speak truth, understanding, mutuality, perseverance, and peace.
We remember at this table our tradition in ancient stories of Jesus of Nazareth sharing tables with everyone, sharing bread, sharing wisdom, sharing life. And in remembering, may we be inspired to live lives of this kind of connection. This table is a place where acts of justice begin, where we nourish our dreams for the world, where we recommit ourselves to the values that we will enact in order to make a difference for us, for one person, for our families, our households, and beyond.
And so we're invited to this table to share in the earth's gift of bread and grapes, to bring our commitment to gratitude and compassion, to thanksgiving and to justice, to strengthening the bonds of our common humanity.
So the invitation, breaking bread with another, is an ancient ritual. And we hope that we might find whatever meaning and purpose in the symbols and act of sharing food that we need to have for today. We're all invited. We don't need to be a member of this church or any church to come and receive a package of bread and grapes. This ritual doesn't bind you or commit you to anything other than what meaning and commitment you wish to make to yourself, to your world. You may come to receive a piece of bread and some grapes, or you may participate in your own way by staying in your seat and enjoying the music. But know this, we're all invited. Regardless of where we are, where we've been, where we're going, regardless of who we are and how we identify. This is a ritual of belonging. So know that you belong to life and you belong to each other, just as you are. And nothing says that like breaking bread with community. So you're invited to share this food for the journey. You're welcome. You belong.
The light of community transforms to smoke spirit. Which blesses us, sustains us, comforts and encourages us to live and be loving and authentic in ourselves and others.